Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson for Full Time Devils. I'm here with Tony Park, Manchester United youth historian and author, and today we're here to talk about a very special, very young talent, Angel Gomes. Tell the people about this lad.
Angel's been on the scene for some time now. I think there's very few supporters who follow the youth system or follow the youth team that haven't seen his name in the newspapers or on the internet forums or whatever. And I think this season he's just broken into the under-18s. Well, he has broken into the under-18s. So those who watch the under-18s on MUTV, they've seen a little bit more of him. And he's a great talent. He's diminutive in stature, as a lot of people have seen. He's still very, very small. Very Jesse Lingard in terms of physique. However, some people remember Fabian Brandy and how Fabian Brandy broke into the team. So he's got that kind of running style, that strength on the ball, the ability to beat a man that Fabian Brandy did. But his close control is exceptional. His touches, his flicks, his ability to control the movement up front, very, very different from Fabian and from Jess. So if he continues to develop, he could turn into something very, very special. I think the thing with Angel at the moment is he's playing in a losing side.
Yes.
So it's really interesting to see how certain players develop when they're playing in a winning side and the confidence is there compared to when they're playing in a losing side and there's a bit of pressure and there's a little bit of difficulty in trying to stamp your mark in a game and run the show. The other thing for Angel is that he's made the jump from 16s to 18s. Physically, that's a big jump, as you can imagine yourself when a lad's 15, 16 years old compared to where they're 17 or 18 years old. Physically, you're very, very different. You have lots of growth spurts, you have lots of growing bone issues at that age as well. He hasn't had any issues in terms of his physical development, but he's up against a lot of bigger, a lot of chunkier lads who have been around a little while, and I think he's finding that transition a little bit more difficult than perhaps others did. Getting back in a winning team, then he looks fantastic.
I agree, especially on the stature, and you compared him to a little bit there to Brandy and Lingard as he was coming through. For me, the way he plays his football and the way he drifts around, his stature and his close control, I'm saying he's the closest thing to Lionel Messi that we're going to see in a Manchester United shirt. Whether he hits that height, I highly doubt it. But I think the way he plays the game, the way he drifts in and out, which leads me into where do you think his best position is? Because we've seen him play defensive midfield for England when he was the England captain in the summer. And we've seen him play left wing, off the striker, right wing. Where do you think his best position is?
I think with Angel is that he's, in my opinion, he's the type of player who needs to be constantly involved. Because what he tends to do when he's not involved is he can drift out of the game, and that's not abnormal or not normal for a young player. It's very difficult for young players to control games fully. I was very critical of Andreas Pereira, someone who was incredibly talented but would drift out of a game. He's got through that now. He's got a bit mature, a bit more physical, and he's now controlling games. I think Angel needs to play in a position where he's on the ball a lot more. I think we will see the best of him when he's more involved, and as a consequence, more in a 10-type role, attacking midfield role behind the striker. I think is where he'll be most active. When he's out left, if the ball's not at him, he can lose interest very quickly. He can get a little bit demotivated perhaps, and that's not what we want to see. We want to see him grow and develop and make his mark on the game. So yeah, as front as possible, pulling the strings.
I absolutely agree. And at 15 years of age, there's not many players that drop into the under-18s at that age. One of them was Morrison, actually, and I think also Pogba, may have come in at around about 15. But anyway, thank you, Tony. If you've seen anything of Angel Gomes, and you may well have seen some vines and some clips of him online because he's got some wonderful little individual skills that he's done for the 18s, stick it in the comments below. How far can this kid go? Someone told me from the club that they think he's the best product ever. Now consider what's come through the club: Duncan Edwards, Bobby Charlton, George Best, etc. That's some mighty peers. So is he that good? We will find out. Stick it in the comments what you think about him below, and thank you for watching. This is a two-part review that we're going to have where they cover the under-21s and under-18s. This is the under-18s. So Tony, under-18s, how have they done this season?
Well, considering we're bottom of the league for the first time in our history, I would say pretty diabolical.